Everything okay?
Everything is fine.
Absolutely. I'm not in the pocket of some magister, and now he knows for sure.
You would have done the same, to be sure.
Or maybe I just trusted you. Like a fool. High bloods. You just can't help what you think about the rest of us, can you?
All right.
Ugh. I shouldn't have said that.
Highbloods. Is he?
Altus Mage, born and bred. Literally, bred in his case.
Yeah, I figured. You don't call yourself the Viper and walk around with that get-up unless you've got something to hide.
A fancy family name in his case.
Which name? Would I know it?
Nah, not my story to tell.
Can I help?
No need to fuss. Everyone's on edge with all the city's troubles. The worst part? He's probably right. I would have investigated me too. You just can't trust them in Rathus Templar. Not right now.
So why even be a Templar?
I used to be a soldier. Being a Templar's not far off. Joining the military is one of the ways you get respect, as Soparati. All the men in my family are military. My father, well, he made it clear that if I wanted to live as a man, I'd have to be a soldier.
That sounds tough. Now being a soldier, a Templar.
You ever stick to something because change is too hard?
Because we can't fight on all fronts. I get it. My family's military too. My father commanded legions near Ventus. That's where he found me.
Found you?
I'm adopted. They found me as a baby on the battlefield after a skirmish. Never figured out how I got there.
And you didn't want to get into the family business either, huh? Look us. Out here in the shining capital city.
So we can make it better.
You know, I hear the city does shine. If you look at it right.
You're a shadow dragon. Aren't the other Templars suspicious?
Most of them don't notice me. Or what I do.
What do you do?
I organize the documents in the archives downtown. In the cellar.
Your administration.
It's a job. Beats sleeping in the rain. Probably thought I'd be doing something heroic, huh? So did I. Once. The cellar's where they store things they don't want to deal with. Difficult ideas, difficult people.
So you joined the Shadow Dragons.
I never really fit anywhere else. Could never be what people wanted. That story's too common around here. The other shadows get it. No questions asked.
Friends should trust each other.
In a perfect world, they do. It's fine. It'll be fine. In a couple days, we'll be fighting over who said sorry better. Thanks for checking in, Rook. Keep safe out there.
Why did Morgan want to meet in Minrathous? Isn't she helping the Veil Jumpers in Arlethan?
Indeed. But today we have a guest, and she needed the anonymity that only a city provides.
Well, look who it is.
Good to see you, Lace.
Rook, you remember how Varric and I served the Inquisition? Well, this is Inquisitor Llewellyn, the woman who led us all.
It's an honor to meet you.
Relax. I won't be trying to arrest you like the First Warden.
You heard about that?
Dorian Pavis is an old friend. He filled me in.
Indeed. You have had many eyes upon you, Rook.
Morrigan and Harding have told me about what you've accomplished since taking over for Varric. You've put together an impressive team, and you've got the best chance, maybe the only chance, to stop Elganon and Gillenane.
I won't let you down.
Don't worry about me. Worry about the people you've recruited, and about the people depending on you. I only sealed the breach because I had people like Cassandra, Leliana, and Cullen with me from the start. Without Dorian's magic and Josephine's diplomacy, we never would have come together to stop Corypheus. Years later, I had to disband the Inquisition, but I never lost the friends who had gotten me through it all. Ultimately, they're the only ones you can really count on. Do right by them, and you'll find your way.
We've got the makings of a good team, I think. We'll do our best.
And while you do so, Rook, the Inquisitor will do her best to ensure that the rest of the world remains intact. A daunting prospect, given that most of the South is under siege by Darkspawn.
It's that bad?
If not for the Inquisitor, the South would have collapsed completely. She has not been idle while you assembled your team.
If the South is in such turmoil, why come up here just to talk? And how did you get here so fast?
Did you think you were the only one to unlock the secrets of the Illuvians?
Morrigan helped the Inquisition use the Illuvians to travel.
While I lack the dreadwolf's Viravus, I may still scurry between the walls of this world to be where I might do the most good. The Inquisitor asked to meet you, and I thought it might help you to meet her.
I thought the gods were mostly active up here. It's really that bad in the south?
Elganon and Gillenane have indeed restricted their activities to the north. But the forces they deployed to the south, the strange new Darkspawn, have spread fear and corruption greater than any blight in history.
Darkspawn have cut through the center of Vorlay. Valrorio and Halam Shiral are barely holding out. Ferelden would have fallen already, if not for help from Orzammar. With Denerim lost, the Fereldans are holding the line at Redcliffe. The Free Marches have the worst of it. Acting Viscount Aveline Valen led the evacuation of Kirkwall. She's taking her people and what's left of her army to help Prince Vale keep Starkhaven.
Maker, we didn't know. My mom...
Don't worry. I called in a favor with the Divine. Your mother's safe with some old friends.
Thank you.
The Inquisition might be gone, but my name still carries some weight. I've used it to get people working together where they can. Again, the South is my problem, not yours, Rook. You stop the gods, and I'll make sure the rest of Thedas doesn't fall to the Blight.
I've been having some trouble getting people in authority to listen to us. If you help with some of your political strength.
My political strength? Tevinter hates me. The Venatori helped make sure of that. And while I have a few friends in the Wardens, their leadership hasn't much cared for me since we clashed at Adamant Fortress.
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solas's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solas is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Right now, Solas is giving us the information we need to track down the gods.
Yes, he is a vital source of information and advice, just as he was to the Inquisition before. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries, How many alliances do you think he has made and broken?
Solas was important to me. If this statuette helps you understand him, if it uncovers something that... Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. But this feels like a part of him. And whatever he and I once were, I think... I hope... it might help you.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you. Well, it's all as you left it.
Close enough. I think the caretaker's been tidying up. Rook, now's not the best time to chat. Let's talk later.
Later then. Carving monsters, huh? Didn't figure you for an artist.
This? It's by necessity. If you know your enemy, their weak spots, maybe you live another day.
You've got a flair for the dramatic.
Nothing scarier than the real thing.
What would he do with it?
Standard bestiaries are always some mage drawing things they've never seen, taking the piss out of it. They don't understand how when the hunt ends and you come nose to nose with an ogre, someone's going to die. So I'm making the real Monster Hunter manual.
Who are you doing it for?
Balmor, that imbecile in Tebenter, lecturing on things he doesn't know about. And Ludric over in Ravane thinks taking a rock wraith down with a lucky shot makes him a champion.
Yeah, Ludric and his ego.
You ever met Ludric?
Well...
Because he's been dead 300 years, living off the legend of one fluke arrow.
Oh, I just wanted to make you feel better.
My reward is showing these idiots how it's done.
I like a hunt with some challenge to it.
What's your quarry?
I'm thinking a Grey Warden. Maybe an elf. Maybe both. I can't decide.
That too much to handle?
It's best if you keep them guessing.
Well, you'll need special bait to lure that sort out. Doesn't just fall for anything.
Noted. So, where's the Gloomhowler in all this?
Can't carve it till I know what it is. You want a piece of the Howler boy?
Is he ready?
Was I ready the first time I fought a Hurlock?
Well, you're still alive.
I got my ass handed to me. Broke 4 ribs and cracked my jaw. Then I got back up and drove a blade through its skull. In this line of work, Asan and I are only as strong as the quarry we hunt.
Makes sense. You'll learn to fight by fighting.
I don't know another way. Out there in the world, you sink or swim.
Can a half-lion, half-eagle swim?
Don't know. Asan?
Which half was that?
Search me. Both halves share the same stomach.
Right. See you around. There's another one of those strange gates. Wait. What happened? This doesn't feel like the Fade, more like a dream, or...
Glad you made it here safely. I didn't love our odds without you.
Who, me?
All right. Everything's in place. We hit Alganan's island fortress tonight. This is our best chance to free the people he's enslaved. Get in, save as many as you can, and bring them back here to Sanctuary. Be fast and be safe. I'll meet you on the other side. Fen-Haral's scouting ahead. For freedom! For the Dreadwolf!
So, the dreadwolf is testing his noble rebels against my stronghold. How courageous.
Those memories can hurt you. More of Solas's memories. Elganon sent his guards to attack the Dreadwolf's rebels.
The bastard! I hope Solas won that fight.
You persist for naught. The people under my rule are not yours to plunder.
Glad to see we all made it. Elganon's forces are making things interesting.
You, keep moving no matter what. Free those slaves. We'll take everyone else and give the guards something to think about.
We must be swift. Elganon is coming.
Solas sounded frightened.
Solas is a smart guy. I'll give him that.
Let's get that prison open.
Quickly, get us out of here!
Locked tight. No sign of a key.
This is all Fade logic. There's gotta be a way through.
Thank you all.
There's an alluvion nearby. We'll head there right away.
Go. The dreadwolf must be waiting for you.
Quickly! Elganon approaches.
Stop his guards. We need to buy time for the captives to get to safety.
I will hold off Elganon himself, for as long as I am able.
The vermin keep coming. Go. I will deal with that ragged wolf.
One last push.
There will be a reckoning for this Solas, no matter how far you run.
Let the big asshole rant. Everyone we freed is safe in the crossroads.
Without all of you, well, thank you. But can Elganon find us here?
He cannot. I have made sure of...
Solas?
Elganon is a powerful opponent. My apologies. It is of no consequence. What matters, my friends, is that today, all of us are free.
I think that's it. The memory ends here.
It's so strange, seeing Solas back when he was a hero.
Let it slip somewhere along the way.
Now all that's left is this fragment. Come on, let's go. There. It's happening again. We're in another of Solas's memories. Remember last time? Past really can still hurt you.
Andaran Atishan, Lassa Gilan.
Spirits, Fade friends, come forth. Enter the circle. Reveal yourselves.
Solas. Whatever happened in this memory, he was personally involved.
Spirits, the Dreadwolf asks for your assistance on a crucial mission.
The false gods, the Evanuris, have overreached. I shall humble them. Within this citadel lies a relic, with the power to imprison even a god. With it, I can bring their tyranny to an end, forever.
You are spirits of chaos, disorder, and disruption. We ask you to disrupt the Citadel's defenses. Give us the opening to get that relic. For freedom!
More visions of the past. Solas sent these spirits out to fight the gods. If we're spirits of disruption, let's act like it.
Oh, I think I'll be good at that.
Spirits! How did the wolf call up so many?
Remember, they can hurt us. Stay sharp. Okay, we're through.
The gods told us this fortress couldn't be breached!
That's the last of them.
They've changed their plans. Elganon may be a tyrant, but he is not a fool. That means the relic is genuine. We are close, and Elganon is afraid. Put our strongest in the vanguard. Prepare to breach the citadel. It will not be easy, but we shall win the day.
Disruption, lead the charge and do what you do best. Whatever champions the gods send against you, bring them down.
More of them.
Death to all tyrants!
Reinforcements! We need more reinforcements!
You must hold fast! For victory!
The gods send aid! This is as far as you go!
Disruption fought to the last, and it was all for nothing. We couldn't take the Citadel.
Wait, that body's me.
It was not for nothing, my friend. The distraction the spirits gave us allowed our agents to retrieve the relic.
Distraction?
No force could have breached their citadel. But it was necessary for the enemy to believe we were committed. A heavy sacrifice, but one that gave us a real chance to end the war.
You knowingly sent all those spirits to their deaths. Solas, we're supposed to be better than that.
They died true to their nature, doing what they loved, Falasan. Let that be a comfort, that this war did not corrupt them into something different from what they were supposed to be.
A ruse. That's all it was. By this point, Solas didn't care who he sacrificed if it meant stopping the Evanurus.
How many lives? Who decides what's too much?
Let's see what this fragment could tell us.
Usually have to dodge traps and fight spiders to see this much old elven stuff. Talk to Isabella if you want to sell any of it. She'll get you a good deal.
Spoken like a veteran treasure hunter.
Yep, for gold and glory. The lords make runs no one else can. Isabella's undies would catch fire if she saw all this.
So why do the Lords of Fortune care enough about dragons to have a dedicated dragon hunter?
Lots of great old crap ends up in dragon hordes.
Why do dragons care about gathering treasure? It's not like they go to the market.
Dragons like metals and gems. Anything glittery catches their eye.
So they're like really large magpies?
Kinda. And they live for centuries. Lots of time to gather a bunch of shiny crap. Plus all the gear carried by idiots who thought they could kill a dragon.
Bet you deal with a lot of nasty traps during those treasure hunts.
Yep.
What's the most complicated one you've dealt with?
Old elven armory. Had letters on tiles. Probably supposed to spell out the name of a god or something.
Probably.
I don't read Elven. Found handholds in the ceiling and swung across.
That sounds more like a puzzle than a trap.
Ugh, puzzles.
But puzzles give you a chance to test your wits. To prove you're smart enough to beat whoever designed it.
Ugh.
I ran into one while traveling with Varric. It had these 3 poles with sets of different sized rings on 2 of the poles.
And you had to move the rings over to the 3rd pole? And the rings had to be sized right and crap?
Yes. You've seen it.
That thing is Vashadan.
Feel free to use the ancient elven artifacts for weight training, but nothing leaves with you, okay?
Don't worry about that. The Lords of Fortune aren't thieves.
Most of us shadow dragons are wanted for worse than theft. But if some lords are in it for themselves...
Nah. Anything we hunt is salvage. Old forgotten ruins and crap. And we make sure we're not screwing over a culture that lost it. That's what my mother does with the Kunari stuff.
So, your mother appraises Kunari artifacts the Lords of Fortune find?
Yeah. She tells them how rare something is. How much it might be worth. Also tells them if they found something cultural.
Cultural?
You know, important. Stuff you don't want going to some rich noble's collection. The Lords send that stuff back to the Kunari in Parvalin. They pay the Lords a finder's fee.
Interesting. The Lords do all this out of the goodness of their hearts?
We do get paid. Name another job where you get danger pay for killing giant spiders.
Right. For golden glory.
The Lords are good people. They helped my mother when she came here from Kontar. She got here with nothing but me and the clothes on her back. The only skill she had was Kunari history. The Lords gave her work.
How does the Ravani Royal Guard feel about the Lords of Fortune?
They used to complain about us. But that was before the Antam invaded Ravane.
And now Ravane sees the benefits of having a bunch of heavily armed people on their side.
Same for the Pirate Armada. It's bigger than Ravane's official navy. But we're also helping save old artifacts. The Antam are burning ruins as they move south. We get artifacts out before the Antam destroy them. Magical stuff. Cultural stuff. Stuff you don't want to lose.
We should do this again. Grab a drink. Share our tallest tales.
Okay, I was gonna go back to Ravane later. Got a thing to do for my mother. You can come along, if you want.
Do I need to be ready for combat? Or traps?
Nah.
Alright. Just let me know when.
Hey. Some for you. Some for you. Hey, don't be a dick. That was for the little one. Stupid birds.
Here, let me.
You gotta spread it out. Throw it out in a clump and they fight over it.
I know how to do it.
So do it. Sometimes I practice with the fire out here. It's safer. No people around. Lots of water.
Is it magic or...?
It's not magic. My mother says the Kunari used to be closer to dragons. Something in our blood.
The Antam called you a Dari.
Yeah. Old Kunari word for fire breather. A few like me are born every generation. My mother thinks Adari were meant for something special. She's always looking through the old texts for clues. Come on. Don't want to scare the birds. My mother left the Qun not far from here. She got herself transferred to Kontar from Parvalin. Smuggled me there and then walked out.
I thought Kontar was well fortified. How did she escape with a child?
Qun isn't a prison. People can leave if they want. You little guys hungry?
Do you miss living under the Qun?
Not much to miss. I was a baby. My mother misses it. She was an Ashkari back then. A scholar.
Why'd she leave?
Me. There's enough for all of you. Shathan was worried about what the Qunari would do with a fire breather like me.
What would they do?
She said they'd have me put in the Antam, use me as a berserker. The idea scared her enough that she left her library and walked away from the Qun. There you go. Come on. Over here's where I practice.
Why not on the beach?
Don't want to scare the birds. We just fed them. What the crap is that?
The Antam must be marking their territory.
Not on my beach. Vash Vatari! Come on. These banners need to burn.
All yours, Tosh. Nice. What does it feel like when you breathe fire like that?
It's more like spitting.
Ugh.
Something inside my throat opens up and lets stuff mix together. Then there's this rush of heat as I roar it out.
Oh, I'm surprised it doesn't hurt your mouth to do that.
It can. One time my tongue got in the way. Got a mouthful of fire.
Ouch.
Didn't hurt much. My mother has to make food extra spicy so I can taste it.
I guess that's the trade-off for being a fire breather.
It's fine. I smell stuff better than most people.
An untimed supply cache. Too bad it's locked up.
Not for long. Watch. Yep.
Wow. It burned right through it.
Yep. Melt some metals, not all.
How did you figure out which kinds of metals you could melt?
My mother said I went through a lot of spoons as a baby. This way.
More birds to feed?
Something like that. Karash, it's Tosh. I brought food.
Avatosh. It's good you came early. The feather clouds are getting lower. It's going to rain. Who is this with you?
This is Rook. He's a friend.
A friend? All right. Make sure you both dress for rain. Drip rain, not mist rain.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
Karash was a worker caste navigator. Got dragged along with the Antam when they invaded.
They told us it was ordered by the Qun. I was not taught war. I was taught the weather. Red clouds for thunder, gray clouds for rain, green clouds for the devouring storm, and black clouds for the Antam cannons. After what they did in Ventus, I ran away.
I'm sorry the Antam did that to you.
I do not have my old life or work, but I remember who I am. The Antam have lost even that.
You saw their banners? They're in the area.
I will not be seen.
Okay. Let me know if they bother you.
I am at peace, Avatosh. I have the clouds to watch and fish to eat.
More than just fish. Here you go. Shathan said to eat the fruit before it spoils.
I like the cookies better.
Everyone likes the cookies better.
I'll eat the fruit. Thank you, Avatosh.
Panaheydan. I'll see you soon.
So, the dragon hunter has a softer side.
The Qun says you take care of people.
So, you're a little Qunari, a little Ravani, and a little dragon?
Yeah?
I get that.
Come on. I should tell my mother how Karash is doing. So how do you get it?
I had to leave most of my old life behind when I joined the Shadow Dragons. And now, I'm fighting elven gods. So you take what works from each part, right?
Yeah. I had to take Kunari language classes growing up. I had to learn how to tie these stupid knots. It wasn't so bad when the Kunari and Ravain were at peace. Now the Antam have broken from the Qun and started attacking. People look at me like they're scared I'll switch sides.
That's their loss. People who've only ever been one thing will never know how big the world is.
Yeah? Maybe. Mother, what are you doing here?
You used to call me Tama.
I also used to wet the bed. Want me to start that up again?
I'd rather you didn't. Not that it's my business. She's not in my...
She always did like the flustered ones. In truth, Evitash's tastes are quite varied, although it is uncommon for her to be attracted to men.
Mother.
Perhaps because in some ways, she acts more like a man herself.
Why are you here?
I came to ask Karash about the tablet your group recovered. I wondered if some of the symbols might be used among the Antam.
Be gentle. Don't make him talk about the war.
I see the wisdom of your suggestion. I also see that you used your fire again. Chakra Toebra.
Chakra Toebra.
Remember to keep your consonants crisp. Kunari do not slouch, and neither does our language. Panahedan, Evitash. You did well bringing Karash his food.
Sorry. She's like that.
She's very involved in your life.
Yeah.
It was nice to meet Karash.
Yeah. It was.
It looks like our boy Hassan is feeling his oats. Or whatever griffins feel.
He's getting the hang of it. When he listens.
He seems to be able to handle himself so far.
You got lucky the Gloomhowler didn't tear you to pieces, boy. You wait for my command. We attack together. Then we can kill stuff like that.
At least he's learning.
The instincts kick in. Griffins see darkspawn and it's a fight to the death. Like wolves hunting deer. Just need to corral it.
Never be a deer. Good to know.
He'd probably leave them alone.
Probably.
You and I see a deer. Maybe he sees venison souffle. Every muscle in him, every talon, every feather, honed into a killing machine. Hassan's ancestors took on archdemons.
Like his name says, he's an arrow.
Half lion, half eagle, with the instincts of both, griffins will always be hunters.
Just like his daddy, Davrin.
I suppose we are our nature.
Not sure about that.
Most of my life I've hunted the darker things in the world. But caring for a griffin? What do I know about that? Yet here I am.
That's not so bad, is it?
Not the path I expected. Makes me wonder about Hassan, his brothers and sisters, still young, pure.
You're worried?
I'm responsible for the future of every griffin alive. I want it to be a good one. These animals live to fight, but I wonder if there's another path for them.
I'd like to think everyone can find a new path, even griffins.
Just wish I knew what it was.
Doesn't every good parent?
Parents, a scary word. I'm supposed to be his bodyguard.
What do you think you've been doing this whole time?
Trying to ignore it. If I get myself killed by a Hurlock, that's on me. If it's Hassan, I just don't want to mess it up.
I think that's where trust comes in. That Turlum idea you keep talking about. Trust Asan to find his way. Don't force things.
He's headstrong.
Good thing you are too.
Right. Thanks for the chat.
Why do you run around in fancy mage clothes?
Because I like them?
You're barely even wearing a shirt.
You fight Anton with a bare midriff.
Everything all right?
We're fine. Just trading fashion tips. So what I wear is a problem for you?
It's not. It's just... Why dress like that? Are you trying to make your mother happy?
Is this about what your mother said on the beach?
No.
What'd she say?
Tasha's mother said that Tash acted more like a man than a woman.
And you feel like you should wear dresses to make her happy?
No. Can you imagine me in a dress? I'd look stupider than I'd look stupid.
This isn't about the dress, is it?
No, it's... I don't know. She always says stuff like that. About how I dress, how I act.
And?
It feels... right. When she says I act more like a man. It feels... right. Why does it feel right?
Tosh, do you like being a woman?
Nobody likes being a woman.
Ah.
This is stupid. Forget I said anything.
If you don't want to talk about it anymore, we won't. But whatever this is, this team is here for you.
I still don't know what this is.
Some of my friends in Minrathous talk about not feeling comfortable in their own skin. As a man, as a woman. I could see if they'd like to talk. Maybe what they say fits how you're feeling.
Yeah. Okay. And thanks. You do look really pretty.
Oh?
To look at. I'd smudge your makeup.
Thanks for letting me down gently.
Back, demon! No further! Isn't standing up to them supposed to work?
Let Lucanus go! Don't make us hurt both of you!
What's going on? Lucanus?
It's not Lucanus, it's the demon. It's taking him over. He's trying to leave.
Smells like jam and brimstone.
Rook, do something!
Spite, stop. You're not taking Lucanus through the Alluvian.
I could, if you'd move.
So you can take him where? Off a cliff, or worse?
How did... Rook? Dash?
You tried to walk through the Alluvian in your sleep.
Spite wanted out.
I need coffee.
Are you sure you're all right?
This could be better. It's hard for Spite to take control when I'm awake, so I try to stay awake.
You can't just stay awake forever. I think that would kill you.
I'll be more careful next time.
We have to make Spite understand that he's endangering you.
He's Spite, not learning. He doesn't listen to anyone. Don't worry about it. This won't happen again. And thanks.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did, sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that, it's kind of mean.
You should remind that thing who's in charge.
That's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Really condescendingly, based on experience so far.
Right! You wouldn't ask questions, you'd tell them what to do, so let's try that. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
Did that name mean something to you?
He's a Forgotten One. Got told they were the bad gods, we couldn't speak their names. Not like the good gods, you know, Elgranon, Gillinane. But now we know the truth about the Evanuris. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solas was one, so best case scenario like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Archive, tell me about the dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fenharel.
Archive, tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards, hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending, but Anaris will prevail.
You have a chance to learn more about your people. Go for it. Just be careful, and try not to break anything.
Right. Thanks, Rook.
All thanks must be given to Anaris, for he will cast down the oppressive Evanuris and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Rook, interested in visiting the Memorial Gardens?
What are you up to?
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis. I'd like to show you its more peaceful side. Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
No one's going to seize the day for you.
Just so. That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings.
Wait, what?
Let's continue.
So, what now?
We light candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook? Look at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon. Surprised there was enough to bury.
Do you know, I never expected that the door we found back in the Vault of the Beloved would lead here.
So, the necropolis actually shuffles its rooms around?
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a chamber. Could you light the next candle? Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants?
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
Bet you'd love some of the books the Shadow Dragons liberated from a few magisters.
This way, Rook.
You were right about the gardens being peaceful.
The necropolis has its dangers, but these places are a refuge for the dead.
How many people are buried here anyway?
Excellent question. We rarely should take a new census. You'll need to light these candles as well. Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages. I was pleasantly surprised by your respect for our undead tableau earlier, Rook. I'm beginning to think people outside Navarra find the necropolis a little unnerving.
Shadow dragons are used to weird architecture. More skulls here, though.
The spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me. Ah, look here.
Hi. Should I say hi?
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but with one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Belated condolences, if that's worth anything.
Always. We move on, as we must, but those long nights linger about the shadows.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. When I first arrived here, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me. Come, the next set of graves lies ahead. Please, light the next candles if you would. There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
And some death magic?
Well, every young mage needs a speciality. All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom and its rites, I ask you, Rook, what is it for?
It's gotta be the living, right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before. We must get to the candle, please, Manfred.
You told Harding that Manfred used to be a wisp until you gave him a body.
Yes, he's taken so well to it. Haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light. Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell. Let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed. We honor the listening spirits.
Hail from the abyss.
We witness, good Watcher, faith kept in all our paths.
What was...
The necropolis hosts many spirits. We thank these guardians for their protection and friendship. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
Hasn't everyone from time to time?
When I was younger, it happened more often than that. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, in sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
That sounds great. Thanks.
Would you mind letting Manfred pour? He does so love seeing the steam rise from the cups.